Hello, this is James from Woodland Classroom. We are out in the beautiful Welsh countryside because it's snowing and it's lovely. So what I wanted to do is make a Christmas wreath for free. No bought wreaths required. You can go out into the woods and make your own very simply. I'm going to show you how to do it. You're going to need two things to start this off. First of all, a pair of secateurs, and secondly, a pair of thick leather gloves. These hedging gauntlets are perfect. Okay, gloves on, and I selected the plant I want, which is this. It's the bramble, which is absolutely everywhere. In fact, most people probably thank you for cutting it out. And it's the same plant that the blackberry grows on, so a lot of kids know it as blackberry, but its true name is bramble. And as you can see, this is a fantastically long one, and it's great for making cordage out of, and we can actually make a loop for the base of our wreath out of it. So the first job is to get all the spikes off, and we're going to do that with our gloves now. And I'm going to strip it like this, and you can see I'm stripping along the length of it, and I'm trying not to kink it as I do it, because we want it to not have any kinks in, because it will make a nice round loop once we start doing that. And with these thick gloves, I can strip my fingers right along it and get all these spikes off, and it also takes a lot of the side branches off at the same time. These brambles are being used in bushcraft now for cordage, for tying dens and shelters together as well. So they're fantastically useful and an underused natural cordage. Right, that feels about ready to go now. Okay, so I'm going to snip the end of that off. It's really snowing heavy now. And the next job is to take the thicker part of the bramble and just encourage it to bend a little bit. So what I do is I put it on my knee and I just encourage the bend the way I want to bend it. There's a bit of a kink in there, so it's not ideal. I think this one's taken a bit of damage, this bramble, but I'm working quickly because it's really cold. If you had like a leather knee pad, you could run it along like that as well. And as you can see, I'm not wearing my gloves now, which shows that actually it's safe to handle now we've taken all those spikes off. Next, we're going to start to turn it into a loop. Oh, some snow's just gone right down my back. And we're going to start to loop it. There's a kink there, so we're going to get rid of that and not use that bit, because that will send the circle out of shape. It's going to be about that big. We'll cross it over and we're going to pass it through the loop like that and do a very simple weave. We're going to go round again. Keep going, getting that weave. And I'm just going through the loop each time, and I'm keeping the loops big as I go. If I try to bend it too sharply, it's probably going to kink. So I always keep it in a big loop, as you can see, which helps prevent it from kinking. Around again. And now we've got the basis of our wreath. I'm just going to tuck the end in. Now we're going to get a second bramble to make that even better. This one is going to go the opposite direction, as you can see. That's going to make a nice kind of natural top to the wreath. And again, same process, we're just going to weave around. And having two brambles in like this is going to give us more options for weaving all our green material, like our holly, our evergreens, and anything else we want to put in there, our ivy. That's going to give us more places to kind of lock those decorative elements in. Well, it's definitely winter. Then I've got an end here, I'm going to tuck that in. I'm going to snip it off evenly with some secateurs so it looks the part. And when we get back home, we'll get some nice ribbon and just tie that together there with a little loop for hanging on a door. Easy to find bramble, it's everywhere, and it's going to cost you nothing. Okay, so we're back in my garden now. It's stopped snowing, so it makes things a little bit easier. And I've started with the bramble wreath. I've started to put a bit of fur in as well. And you can see that's woven in really well with all those little kind of gaps we've got there to weave these bits in with. I'm just going to keep building up the layers now. I recommend starting with the soft stuff first before you go for the holly. Otherwise you're constantly just going to be spiking yourself in your hands as you work on it. And here's the finished article. We've got holly, ivy, some fir as well, a little pine cone in, so a real kind of woodland themed wreath. Right, it's freezing cold, so I'm going to go get a cup of tea.